Hi, everybody. You're welcome to this YouTube channel. And my name is Chukwunyere, and I have with me
Her Royal Sweetness, Sola Chukwunyere.
That's my wife, by the way. Just in case this is your first time of watching this video, this is Fit for Marriage with Sola Chukwunyere. And I'm happy to have her here because it's like moving a mountain to have her on the set. Unlike myself, okay. I can actually just put on a shirt and brush my beard and I'm fine and I can just start talking. But for her, we would need to have some time of preparation.
Wait, why is it like, I don't agree with the moving of a mountain part. But why is it so? Why is it somewhat difficult to get me to be on every episode with you?
Yeah, I think it's just, first, she's very busy. I'm not saying I'm not busy, but for her, she needs to process the topics that we're going to be talking about. She needs to be mentally ready, and that would take at least 24 hours to get her to be mentally ready. And then, of course, she has to be in a very beautiful mood to be able to do this. If not, she will not give you her best. So
basically, I'm a thinker and a planner. And you're the person who can, like you said, put on a shirt and you're ready to go. I have to think, I have to plan, I have to process things. So we're on Fit for Marriage. So just giving you an idea or an insight into, our marriage and how in a marriage you can have differences, but your differences, align in a way. One person's strength covers the other person's weakness, one person's, and vice versa, basically. Yeah.
Yes, so now we're going to be spontaneous with this particular one.
Yeah.
This is not
I had no time to process this, by the way.
So this is not what we are supposed to talk about. Now, we'll talk about it in the next video, but let's talk about differences in marriage. So we're just going to use our experiences. So differences in marriage. I will bring in the different areas that we are different, and then we'll talk about it and also see how we can how you can manage some of these differences. One thing about differences in marriage is that God has made us to be uniquely different.
Absolutely.
And there is nothing wrong in being different, okay? In fact, being different is God's wisdom, to help every couple build a successful marriage. But then we've had several situations where, because we don't understand or we don't value our differences, it becomes a problem. Because if you have someone who is entirely like you, then there's nothing to improve on. So you need someone who is different. There's something about opposites attracting, but yeah, of course, similarities remain in the sense that if you have shared values, which is really fundamental, you can be completely different people in different ways. There are several areas that we are similar. We are both introverts, even though I'd like to think that I am an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert. I'm not sure what that is.
You're
but
extroverted introvert.
But I think that I'm an introvert when you see me from the surface. But when you get to know me and I become comfortable with you, I can be very extroverted.
We're similar in that regard, actually. We're very similar. It's just I am more introverted, more reserved than you are. And sometimes, I growing up, people used to mistake that for me being snobbish because I also grew up really shy. But anyway, we're very similar in that regard. You are more extroverted than I am in terms of, when you're with people, you're really jovial. I'm that way when I have developed a rapport with you and you know me. We know each other pretty well. Yeah, so we're quite similar in that regard.
We're quite similar.
We are homebodies.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
both of us.
We don't like going out.
Oh God, which is not necessarily a good thing.
We don't really like going out, but we try to enjoy each other's company, which is really very good. That's why you never catch me out late. I'm always home.
Yeah.
So
in many ways we are similar, but in many other ways we're very different.
Yeah, we are very different in many other ways. So let's look at one way that we are both different. I'm the doer. In the sense that when I think of ideas, I want to start running with it immediately. She's the thinker who would want to process it, think through it, and probably, hold on for a bit until things are really clear before she moves or makes the step. For me, I get frustrated sometimes because I think that this is slowing me down. I need to move. I need to quickly jump at it. And for her, she's like, you need to have calculated steps. So you don't just go and jump into a ditch. You make mistakes and all of that. So.
And you're like, mistakes are how we learn.
Yep, mistakes are how we learn. Just do it before you lose the momentum or lose the excitement, or you get discouraged and you don't want to take that step. Well, once you take the step, keep failing forward. That's how I think. And so we are different in that regard. But then I think it's important to talk about how this difference have helped us. Because if I'm always that person who wants to jump at things, I would have experienced losses, in some of the maybe investments or things that we wanted to do. But you have helped to say, okay, so look at it this way. These are the possible challenges. Those things usually annoy me sometimes when I'm trying to think about how to go and do something. You are showing me some of the roadblocks and the potential challenges. But because she's very strategic with the way that she thinks, it helps to also, it helps me to look at, okay, so we may encounter this. So it slows me down. Let's be going. We'll meet the problem there. When we jam it, we'll move through and we'll overcome. So. Yeah, that's how I think.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Yeah.
Because, we've been married for 10 years. So obviously from your response, you can tell that, I have rubbed off on you in a way. And in fact, you have already answered, given my response in what you were saying. The things that I was going to say are what you've already said, because we've come to that point of, understanding that our differences are what make us better. So in a marriage, our differences or your differences are supposed to be complementary, right? Just like you said, being a doer and me being a thinker, if you were alone by yourself, how, you would still have been successful by the grace of God, right? But to get to that point of success, you would have made many mistakes, many of them avoidable, On my side, the flip side for me is that being, the thinker, sometimes you can be paralyzed by that. There's something called analysis paralysis. And so it can take me a long time to even start something because I am so busy processing, thinking, analyzing, and all of that. But the complement, where the two meet and actually can complement one, is where I'm not limited by that and you're not limited by that. One of the biggest mistakes that people make in marriage when you have these differences and it feels like you're grating against each other is when you do not listen to each other. And I know that in one of the previous episodes where we talked about, this listening and communicating. Sometimes it takes a long time, to get to that point. And I know that even for us, like you admitted yourself, it's like those things used to annoy you. But you got to a point where one day, after several years of marriage, you said to me, babe, I am so grateful for this aspect of you. And I was just listening like, oh wow, and you very articulately, and presented, my case for me, like how me being that strategic thinker in the marriage has saved us a lot. So bottom line is, understand that your differences are supposed to complement one another. Understand that you are partners. You are in a partnership. You are a team. The two of you are, part of a team. Yeah. And the goal is that, that thing that you have both agreed to, is the goal. So it's a question of how do we get there? One person's ideas are not necessarily better than the other person. It's like, where do we meet in the middle? Yeah. So for example, you have an idea, you've processed it within a day, and it's like, and then, by the time you share it with me, like you said, I take time. And so the good thing about that is, by the time we start, we have considered a lot of things. We have done even some scenario planning. If this happens, what do we do? And so we're prepared. And so even if we do, hit roadblocks that we did not expect or plan for, anticipate, because we have spent time planning, so we do it better. We do it more excellently. It may take us some time, but we do it more excellently. And then where your strength comes in is not allowing me to, spend years or months planning for something that, we could have accomplished in weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that's really very important, because it's the balance of meeting somewhere in the middle and just working together, because you are a team. If you guys can explore and take advantage of your strength and your unique personalities, you'll be able to achieve more. So two cannot work together except they agree. So that agreement doesn't mean that you can't be different. It means that you understand the foundational mindsets, and that is the fact that you guys are partners. You guys are on the same team.
Yeah.
You guys are working towards achieving the same thing.
Yeah.
And so how do we explore each other's strength to be able to achieve what we want to achieve? Yeah. So that's really very important.